Think back to a very specific moment in your childhood. The driveway stretches out in front of you, the sun is bright, and an adult is jogging right beside you, holding the back of your seat. You feel that strange mix of fear and ferocious determination as the front tire wobbles beneath your hands. Then, somewhere between the third and fourth panic, the pedals catch a rhythm. You turn back to shout for help, only to realize the adult let go a long time ago. You are riding. For millions of people, that single, brief, weightless glide is their absolute first taste of true, unassisted mobility. It is humanity's simplest machine designed to permanently expand personal autonomy. In the early 19th century, the German inventor Karl von Drais debuted what he called the Lauf machine. It was a heavy wooden contraption, lacking any pedals or propulsion mechanism. Riders simply pushed themselves along the ground with their feet. By the late 1800s, engineers perfected the design into what was called the safety bicycle. They introduced two equal-sized wheels, a functional saddle, and a chain-driven propulsion system that allowed human legs to generate incredible mechanical leverage. This highly accessible design immediately challenged Victorian social constraints. It provided marginalized groups, specifically women, with a literal vehicle to self-organize, carrying suffragettes directly into protests and political rallies. 2 centuries later, this basic mechanical layout of two equal wheels and a chain drive remains the global standard for human-powered transport. It is a rare example of a 19th century technology that remains fully optimized for the modern world. Behind the celebration of this machine lies serious science. The World Health Organization classifies regular cycling as one of the most accessible and effective forms of physical activity available to defend against the global rise of non-communicable diseases. Regular cycling drops premature mortality from cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and cancer by 20 to 30%. Pedaling functions as moving meditation, lowering stress. Conversely, global physical inactivity costs $54 billion annually in healthcare and $14 billion in lost productivity. Integrating active transport into daily life makes the bicycle a zero-cost public health intervention, capable of healing human bodies and massive national economic deficits simultaneously. On a macro-geographic scale, roughly 1 billion human beings live in rural communities, completely isolated from paved roads or reliable motorized transport. In these regions, a bicycle is critical infrastructure. Consider education in rural Africa, where students often walk hours just to reach a classroom. When organizations distribute sturdy, locally built bicycles to these students, girls are 19% less likely to drop out of school. The logistical multiplier effect applies heavily to rural medicine, too. A community health volunteer equipped with a bicycle can deliver tuberculosis medication, administer vaccinations, and visit 4 times as many households in a single day compared to navigating those same distances on foot. Furthermore, a single-family bike often operates as a micro-economy hub. It acts as a delivery vehicle, moving essential agricultural goods, charcoal, and clean water across miles of unpaved terrain to distant regional markets. In regions bypassed by major infrastructure budgets, the bicycle acts as a force multiplier. It turns a 4-hour walk into a 30-minute commute, directly enabling consistent access to education, healthcare, and regional trade. Looking at our modern environmental crisis, this area chart illustrates global energy-related carbon dioxide emissions. The massive sector highlighted here shows that roughly 1/4 of all these global emissions originate strictly from transportation. Contrast that heavy carbon footprint with nations that have deeply integrated zero-emission transit into their urban DNA. In the Netherlands, multi-generational cycling is so woven into city planning that it serves as the primary method for moving residents to school and work. A vast global movement is now underway to reclaim city infrastructure from automobiles. In Colombia, Bogotà's ciclovia regularly closes 120 kilometers of city streets to cars, handing the expansive thoroughfares directly back to active residents. The shift from car-centric planning to protected cycling lanes allows cities to rapidly reduce transport-related emissions using existing road footprints. It is an immediate, low-cost way to move thousands of people through a city without the carbon cost of a motor vehicle. The global consensus on the machine's absolute value was formalized on April 12, 2018. That day, all 193 member states of the United Nations General Assembly voted unanimously, with 0 abstentions, to establish June 3rd as World Bicycle Day. In their official resolution, they honored the machine's longevity and versatility with 5 distinct adjectives. They declared it simple, affordable, reliable, clean, and environmentally fit. If there is a forgotten frame sitting in your garage, pump up the tires and take it out. Give yourself permission to find that balance again, to feel the wind and rediscover the exact physical thrill you felt on your very first ride. No matter how technologically complex our society becomes, the brilliant act of pedaling forward endures. It reminds us that balance is dynamic, that you have to keep moving to stay upright, and that the greatest journeys are the ones we power ourselves.